Hi guys, today I'll be showcasing you guys how to make do a follow-up to the previous lessons where we learned the basics of Blender. But today we're going to be making using those techniques to make more hard surface objects. So today we're going to make like a mug kind of shaped robot that walks towards you potentially. And I'll be showcasing you more hard surface techniques that can help you make a low poly controllable mesh into having a high fidelity look basically. So let's get on with that. First thing we need to do is go under edit preferences, and we want to go to get extension. We want to get extra mesh objects. You might need to install it. To do this, sometimes you might need to allow online access. I already have that, so I can't show you. But if you don't, you go to systems and go online access, and this will give us more objects under this. So let's delete everything on the scene first, and we're going to add a new object here. We want to go and find a round cube, and then we want to go and find the operator settings, and we want to change the subdivisions down a little bit to maybe like 4, and this will give us a nice shape to do our to build from basically. After we get to this sort of shape, we need to go into edit mode and get onto orthographic view. To get to orthographic view, we can hold alt and middle mouse drag left and right and down. We want to make sure we're like this, and then we want to go and press Z or one of these colors, one of these things to enable wireframe mode. Remember, we can go to face selection over here or press 3 on the keyboard, and we can, with that selected and this enabled, we can box select the top side, and that will select the top side. If I don't have this X-ray on, for example, and I do face selection, I only select half of it. But if I have this and I can see the dots, I can select all of that. If I have it on over here with the X-ray version, you can see you get the dots all the time, and this will allow you to click all of them if you hover over that box. We want to delete that, so hover over it, press X, and delete the faces. And then we want to go select this edge ring so we can make the kind of mug shape already. So I'm going to press E to extrude it upwards and press C to lock it on axes. And we have now a mug shape kind of shape with our thing. If we go back to object mode now and turn off X-ray, we can do that by pressing Z or Z drag solid and shift Z to turn it off, or just click that button. I don't know why it wasn't turning off properly. As you can see, it's kind of faceted, so now we need to add some subdivisions. So to add subdivisions, we can go to modifiers, add, and type in subdivision surface, and we're going to increase the level the viewport subdivisions by 1 to 2, and it's still faceted, but we can change that by going and shade smooth. And what this does is adds more divisions into it uniformly. So that's why sometimes keeping good edge flow helps with that. Next, we need to add a few more useful modifiers to show you guys, which is the solidify modifier. What this does is gives you a solidified rim. So if I were to change the thickness, I'm going to change it to go inwards. This will give us like before it was this kind of shape, and now it's going to get thicker. So if I were to add the solidifier now again and move this inwards, we'll get slightly thicker rims. However, this causes our shape to have this really even kind of flow. So what we need to add is something called a bevel, and that will bevel out our shapes here. And if we scroll down, we can increase this margin so we can get a thicker or a like a nice hard surface look. And then we're going to change the segments up a little bit so we can get a better kind of rim. So it's not sharp on the edges, but it's also not too sharp kind of vibe. And just because we have this weird blurring, we can go to shading, scroll down, and we can do harden edges, and now we have a nice, not like well shaded shape that doesn't look weird. Just a few more hotkeys things to show you is you can drop these down so that it doesn't cover all the settings of each modifier doesn't take up the space, and also you can go ahead and enable them and disable them so you can kind of see what each one does. It stacks, so bottom is first, like so. So this is what it kind of does. Shows you the interval, so I can have no subdivision and it will look like that. If I don't have the fill, it will look like that. The bevel probably won't work without the fill, and we can have it without the subdivision. So that's how you can do it. If you're in edit mode, you have to click on this button, and this will do the same thing. And if you don't want it to be in the render preview, you can, and I don't know why you would not have it on the render preview, you can turn it off over here. If you ever make a mistake, you can press X over here to just delete it. And if you're happy with it and you don't want to modify it anymore and you want to stick to it, you can go to this drop down and apply it. It's grayed out right now because I'm in edit mode, but you can apply it or duplicate it to strengthen the effect. Okay, the next step is to, I want to make a little lip for it. So I want to press Shift D to duplicate it. We want to right click it so it stays exactly on top of each other. After that, we want to go to edit mode, highlight the whole thing, so press A, and then we want to press Alt S, which will allow us to shrink it uniformly. So as you can see, if I were to just press S, it'll make it smaller as well. But if I Alt S it, escape, press Alt S, it makes it like it largens it along the normals. So like that. After that, we want to, I know it looks like it's been selected, but if we go to X-ray mode, all of it's selected. We want to go select this edge, only this edge right here. This top edge right there, as you can see, only that edge. And then we want to go press E and just right click to give it extrusion, but on the spot. And then we're going to press S to scale it up. And as you can see, we slowly get a little lip kind of shape and a really nice bevel shape across of it. As you can see, it's really nice. But this lip is a little bit too big, so we can go back to our solidify and change it a little bit smaller, so we can have it maybe that one, like something like that looks perfect in my eyes. So just to give the cup a little bit more details, like the same thing as we've done on the lid, as you can see, we want to have like a little crevice or bevel inside. These are separate shapes. What we can do here is go back to the outer cup. As you can see, what this looks like is there's like a thermos kind of shape already. What we can do here is go to edit mode, and we're going to go add an edge loop. So Control R, we can add an edge loop down here somewhere. And then now we can go press 3, which will enable face selection. And we want to select this top edge ring, so something like around there. And then we can press Y, which will separate the selection here. You can also separate selection by here, but Y is the one that keeps it in the same shape. So now if I go back to object mode now, as you can see, we have a small crevice because of how we set up the shape, because it will give a solidify plus a bevel onto it. This is what makes it, the bevel is what really makes this go inwards, and the solidify. So if we didn't have any of these on, this will not look like that. So if I turn these off, you can see it's completely flat, but when we turn it on, it'll, because we cut it there, it'll solidify the bottom bit and give it a bevel. Okay, the next step is we need to make it like a little handle shape. So what we can do here, I'm going to show you a few more tools. So I'm going to click on the outer one, outer round cube, which is this one. I just named this outer and inner. And then we're going to go and show you a few more things. So I can go to edit mode and make sure we're on the x-axis. So this one going across. I'm going to go and click on this vertice, which is directly on the x line. We're going to press Shift S, which will bring up the cursor, and we're going to go press cursor to selected, which will bring our 3D cursor to that point. And if I go back to object mode now and press Shift A, mesh and cube, well, not that's a plane, cube, that will put a cube on that spot basically, so it helps us put it into the general spot already. And I'm just going to scale it so that it's in the size that I want, and I'm going to just move it out now so I know it's going to be there. After that, I'm going to go and inset the faces on both ends. Oh, actually, before that, I need to make sure that I scale it this way as well, because it's a little bit thick on that side. So something like that, you can eyeball this. It doesn't have to be too exact, like so. And I'll go back to edit mode. I'm going to go and select these two faces. So this one and this one. And I'm going to press I. This will inset the faces like so. I'm going to do it in just to show you. I just did that to show you how it worked, and then I'm going to do that. Something around there. And then with those two faces selected, we can right click and bridge those faces. Bridge faces. And that will create a little hole. I'm going to go and select this edge loop and press delete faces. And now I'm going to show you a trick on how to make this edge, these two like kind of not edge, these edges flat. So I'm going to select both of them. So holding Alt and hold Shift Alt to select the next one. I'm going to scale, press S. And I'm going to lock it to the X-axis now. So as you can see, eventually it goes straight, but I can get exact moment if I type in 0. If you look up at the top, just underneath the edit mode bar, I just type in 0, it'll just be completely flat, like so. After that, we need to make sure our thing has, we need to apply the scale. So I'm going to press Control A, scale, because it's got a value. And if I apply a bevel and stuff onto it, it won't give me a uniform bevel. And stuff like that, basically. And again, we can go up to here to put a subdivision because it's a blocky shape, or we can press Control to select it and press Control 2. Sometimes this will work, sometimes it won't. Control Shift 2. Nope, I don't have the hotkeys for it apparently. So yeah, I don't think it's going to work for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put a subdivision surface onto it, like so. I'm going to make it maybe 2 for now, probably 3 later. But I'm going to go back to edit mode. As you can see, it's like curvy. I wanted to keep that boxy shape. So I'm going to go and select these. I'm going to select this edge loop by holding Alt and Shift Alt over here, and I'm going to go bevel these like so. So it keeps that like nice squarish look to them, like so. See that? After that, I'm going to go and I'm going to go select the edge loops here, 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 and here. Maybe I want a bit more. I think I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go to, I'm still in edit mode. So I'm going to press Shift E now, which is and this is a creasing tool. So you can go and make it completely flat. As you can see, it's actually a bit long this way. So I might change that in a second again. But as you can see, it's completely flat, and we can also, and the edges become purple. You can also get onto this by right clicking and mark sharp. Mark sharp or edge crease like that, so that Blender knows that it's creasing that edge. And then afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and put a bevel on it, like so. It's a little bit too big, so I'm going to go and make it just about right, like there. Increase the segments. Make sure we harden on edges. And also, one more thing, we need to shade smooth it. So it's smooth. As you can see, there's still a bit of faceting over here. So we can go ahead and increase the render and thingy view so that it's like that. And whilst we're here, I'm going to go and select this object and change the Y so that it's a little bit thinner and makes a bit more sense. And remember to apply the scale. It's really important that you do this. Apply scale, like so. So the next step is to kind of move this handle in. We can just go and slap this right in, and as long as it's like kind of in there in between, it's fine. But I'm going to show you a few more things that you can do and use more tools. But firstly, this is annoying me a little bit, so I'm going to go and select these edges a little bit, and I'm going to go slide them. I'm going to move them this way a little bit because the handle's a little bit too big, and I did not like it. But next, we're going to go and put all of these drop downs here, so that, oh, I've got a new drop down here, but it's kind of weird. But regardless, it's fine. I'm going to go and select these two faces and press F and make sure I crease them so they're nice and flat like that. And then now we're going to put a edge loop here so that we have like right down in the middle, so that we have a control, we can controllably like snap it on. And then what we're going to do here is I'm going to add a shrink wrap and go to target. I'm going to target there, and that has caused our guy to go slap into the cup, which is what we want. We want it to stick to the cup, but we don't want it to be exactly like that. So we're going to go ahead and go to this data tab, and we're going to go before that. Actually, we're going to go select these faces and add a group and assign them to the group. And we can go to this and we can actually put in the vertex group in, and it will just only affect that bit, and that will slap that straight into it. And we can, after that, we can go select and move it in a little bit. So we've kind of put it in, we've kind of made it very, very close together. And if this method does not quite work out and it looks kind of weird, you can change out the wrapping method to project and on the x-axis only, and that should also do it, like so. And if, for example, your shape is slightly intersecting, which mine is perfectly fine, this is like exactly on the spot, you can actually like push it in and out using the offset tool right here. So you can see you can push it like that, but it's completely fine with it. My one is doing its job. So we don't need to do anything else for that. Okay, the next step is we're going to put the eye in. So unlike where we select it, we're going to go and move our 3D cursor somewhere on the front here on the y-axis. I'm going to go press shift and right click somewhere around where I want it. And like somewhere around here looks okay. And I'm going to go press shift A and make a cylinder this time. And before we get rid of this drop down menu, I'm going to make this a 16 vertices shape. And that's about it. After that, I'm going to go rotate it around the x-axis by 90, like so. Scale it down again, so it's like that, and kind of drag it out a little bit so we can work with it a bit better. And we're actually going to make it a bit smaller than it should be, a bit smaller like so, like something like that. And we're going to go and once you're happy with the shape, we're going to go and go to edit mode, select the face here and press I to inset it, so we have like something to work with. If you're happy with that, we're going to press E to go in, but make sure it doesn't go too far out. We're going to go push it to the quite far back, but not so far back. If it's too far out, we can push it back in. And we're going to go press Shift D because we want this guy to be, we want this to be like a lens kind of unit, but we don't want it to be one straight face, okay? Because that will ruin the topology. So we're going to go and press X, and I'm going to delete only face here. And I'm going to go select this edge loop by pressing 2 and selecting it, and right click, and we want to fill grid fill this if I can. Let's see if I can find the grid fill here. So the thing, you have to press Control F to find a grid fill. As you can see, we have grid fill, and we're going to change the offset so it's in line. And after that, we're going to extrude it a little bit, highlight, I'm going to hover over it, deselect it, hover over it, press L to link select it, and we're going to press G and Y to put it back into place like so. And that's your kind of lens shape. Now we want to put our subdivisions in it. Object mode, press Ctrl 2. Sometimes it doesn't work. For me, because I probably have another thing enabled, which is unfortunate. So I'll just go and put a subdivision surface over here and press 2. Now we need to make the edge rings to be flat. So we're going to go and do it. I mean, we can go and select all the edge rings like this, and like this. But the quick way, another way, I'm going to show you another way to do it. So I'm going to press Control, hold Control Alt, and then left click. And this selects the edge loops laterally, like so. And then we can go to selection method, and we're going to go and select select loops, edge loops, and we quickly select all those edge loops, and we're going to press Alt E again to crease. Shift E to crease it like that. So then we get a straight, like the flat look again. After that, we can apply a bevel like normal, and we can move it out so that we can enjoy it. Or actually, I might be under selection, so let me just do that. So bevel it. As you can see, we've got a bit of a bevel, but it's affecting our inside thing. So what we can do here is we can change the angle a little bit so that it does not affect it. So at a higher angle, it won't affect the inside element, but will only affect the inside element. And we're going to go and change it so that we have a better bevel over here. Just like that. And we might have a clamping issue going on. So what we do here is we can go to geometry and uncheck clamp overlay. And this, if you ever have a clamping issue where it's like not really doing anything, you can check it like that. After that, remember we can go and press auto shade smooth. This thing has a little bit of issues, so I'm going to uncheck harder normals. Check harder normals. I'm going to go and snap this guy into our thing again. So make sure we put our shrink wrap in. And I'm going to, and then before that, I'm going to go back to edit mode, select this face, go back to the data selection because I only want that face, assign it. And now we can go and put this in and target our outer, so it's in. But we want to go project, and on the y-axis it doesn't do anything, so we need to check on negative, and that should do it. Didn't quite do it. Let me see why though. I don't know why, but it just doesn't seem to want to work this time, so I'm just going to do the cheap way to do it. Get rid of the shrink wrap, and I'm going to go and push it slightly inwards. The problem is it's slightly curved, so we have to push it in a bit further like so. But that will give us the same kind of shape basically. Let me just move it so it's in a position I like so. So that's one way to fix that, because it doesn't really matter. But I've got to try and work it out how to fix it, because I'm a bit annoyed about this, and I'll be back when I do. Okay, I finally got the shape that I want it to be. So I fixed it by changing is mainly this angle. Made it look a little bit weird, but we want the shrink wrap to be on top of the bevel, so that once it connects over here, it'll kind of bevel inwards a little bit. Actually, I've slid this thing a little bit too far, so I have to slide it back out a little bit so that you can see it like it's got like that little bevel in it. But because of how the shape is formed, I need to position it a little bit better so that the lens is protruding a little bit too far outwards. So yeah, there's a little bit of a finicking thing that I need to do here to make it look how I want it. But other than that, it should be fine. As you can see, if we just move our shrink wrap before upwards, we can see like it's beveled where it's connected. So if you want something similar on here, we can move it up and it'll bevel the edges before it connects, and that gives it a nice kind of look that is connected. So the next part we want to do is going to make little legs for this guy. So to do that is we're going to make some joints, and then we're going to make some segments. So before that, we're going to go press A, move this up a little bit so we know, so everything's above the 0 line. And then I'm going to go here, go to edit mode, and select the nice vertex to snap our 3D cursor in, so that we can easily import something right there and get straight to the business. We're going to go to mesh and add a cylinder. We're going to change this to 8 because it's really small. And then the same thing as before, we're going to go and rotate this along the y-axis by 90. And then we're going to scale it down so it's perfect. So it's nice and small. I'll say something like that, and then we're going to elongate it a little bit and make it smaller again, and just get it to the right shape that you want it. Basically, you don't have to follow along too much. Don't have to follow along exactly, but it's good too if you want to. And then I'm going to go and press / to isolate the thing, so it just like puts it, like separates it by itself. And then afterwards, I'm going to go and give this a subdivision modifier, subsurface. And we need to go and select these edges because they are getting rounded off. And I'm going to make them increase them with Shift E in edit mode. After that, I'm going to go add a edge loop in the middle and press Ctrl B to give it some detail here. It's actually, does it look a bit off center to you? I don't think it is. I'm just probably sitting in the wrong angle here. And I'm going to press Alt E, extrude faces along normals, and we're going to put like a little indent here, like so. And again, we're going to go and select all of these. Try to select these faces. It's quite difficult to do it, so I'm going to do it like this. That. So it's this one, and this one. This one and this one, I presume. We're going to go press Shift E to make them hard, and then we're going to put some bevel in them, make the offset a bit more, and then we're going to go shade smooth, shading harden normals, and we're going to go shade smooth, and we have some kind of gear like that. Next, we're going to put the upper leg segment in, and a good way to do that is actually to use this tool called the Add Primitive box, and we can actually, like, as you can see, you can hover over how we want to do it, and we want to put it at an angle. So this angle looks good, so I'm going to do something like this and make it like this big, and then we need to extrude it for the second one, and that looks about perfect. So then I'm going to go to orthographic view and just kind of put it into place. That might be a bit small, but it's up to you guys. You can resize it if you wish. It's going to be a bit more difficult to size it up properly compared to when it was like flapped on, but it should be fine. Something like that. So looks good, and we're going to go and press Control and apply scale. I also, before we go on to the next part, I might just go ahead and do it on this one as well, just in case it affects it. And remember, subdivision surface, oh, actually no, just bevel it, because we want it to be a cube. And maybe make it a little bit less, like that. 0.01 looks good. If I can get there. 2 segments, shading, harden normals, right click, shade smooth. Something like that. And then we want to put in like some kind of sci-fi detail in, like, you know, something along the lines of that, maybe, just to give it a little bit more extra detail. So we'll go about doing that. So to do that, we gotta go and add another primitive. We're gonna do it on the same plane as this shape. It can be quite rough because um, it just needs to be just needs to intersect, because this is going to be like our cutter shape, something like that. And then we're going to go and go to edit mode and give this and scroll up and give it 2 edge loops like so. And then we're going to go and move this and slide it across. Oh, actually, it doesn't look as good as it should. So I'm going to go and slide it across this way uniformly as possible. Something like that. And then I'm going to go and push this back across like so. So it hits about the middle. Maybe I should turn on X-ray to see what it's actually doing. Maybe I'll move it. Let's turn it to normal, local, so I can move it down just a tad bit, or maybe move it up a little bit. Somewhere like that. And then we're going to go and make use of another add-on called Bool Tools. So we can go to add-ons, type in Bool Tools if you have it. If you don't have it, I think it might even be shipped in these days. So I'm going to go in and type in Bool Tools. Let's just see if Bool is Bool. I have Bool enabled, but you can get it here and install it. I think it might be installed already in New Blender, but if we go ahead and select both of these and go Control Shift B, that will bring us the Bool thing, our Boolean tool thing, and this will allow us to get the menu to do our Boolean operations. And we're going to click Slice, and now we will have, if I go here, we'll slice it into 2 parts, as you can see. But the problem is there is there's 2 sections, but the thing is the bevel doesn't go all the way through. So what we're going to do here is just reorder the bevel. So bevel first, and that will do it, and do it for both of these. So now we have this kind of shape, and then we can turn this one off. And we got that shape. And if we ever want to re-enable it, so this is that, we can always go in and actually move it left and right until like we're satisfied with it. This little shape that's inside another shape, it's called a Boolean operation, but I'm gonna hide it for now because I don't need to see it. And now we have like this nice sci-fi indent crease bevel thing. So the first section of our leg completed, we just need to go and select all of it, and we're going to press Alt D, which means it's what does it mean? It means it's link duplicated, so everything is copied along across. And I'm going to just right click and drop it back down, and then we're going to go here and place it down basically to the spot where I think it's going to be. Where the segments is, and that looks kind of good over here. Oh, I think the bevel does the intersection didn't go with it. So 1 second, let me just re-enable it quickly. So I'm going to Control Z a little bit, go back into here and turn this on. So you need to bring everything across. So this cutter and that. So, and now we need to go Alt D, link selected. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that worked this time. So now I'm just going to go reposition it so that it looks good. Somewhere like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go to edit mode now and go select that face. I'm going to go to shift select cursor to selected. And then we're going to change our pivot point to 3D cursor. And now if I go to object mode again and rotate, I rotate around the 3D cursor. So it's like a kind of joint kind of thing. Back to bounding box selection. I'm going to get our little feet in, but before that I need to go put one more joint in. So this guy, I'm going to press Alt D again and put it right on the end, like so. and then look over to this way and draw, use our primitive draw thing and put like a little flipper on the side, and we're going to put that guy in somewhere around there, making sure each view looks good, like so. We have this little flipper. It might need to be expanded just a little bit, like so. And then now we can go and copy over our bevel settings from over here. So we go over to our, we select this and one of them, we can go and go to the drop down and we can duplicate this onto, we can go to copy to selected. So now our flipper thing has our bevel settings, and we need 2 legs. So what we need to do here is we need to go Shift S, make sure our cursor is at the world origin. And all we have to do here now is we need to duplicate it. So we're going to go and select everything again. Ooh. So select most of it and then do a fine finesse. And we're going to go Alt D, and then I'm going to press right click to confirm that. And then I'm going to press Control M X. Control X. Oh, that's doing it a little bit weird. 1 second, I might have duplicated it too many times. Give me a moment. I just skipped out on one section. We needed to make sure that this is on 3D cursor again. And we go Alt D to duplicate and release back to center. We're going to press Control MX, which should duplicate it across my world axis, but it is not doing it. So let me try it one last time before I give up. There we go. It just didn't want to confirm it, but there it is. And I'm just going to finesse it a little bit because I might have done loads of duplicates randomly. Okay, next thing we're going to do is make a kind of decal. So to do that, we need to make a plane. And I'm going to go flip it on the Y by 90 and move it over here a little bit because I want it on the side. You can put it wherever you want. After that, we're going to go into this and press subdivide. Over here, we're going to change it to 10, and we're just going to go and select the faces that we want, and I'm going to call it C1 for cup 1. So something like that, I think, and then we're going to invert the selection, delete the rest of them, and then we get something like that. And then we can do something fancy like select some edges like this. I don't know which ones are the best. And we're going to right click and bevel. I think I don't want. I'll come back once I figure out which how I want to. So I decided something like this looks really cool, and we can go and move this along to the left a little bit. I mean, along to the left, like so. Make it a bit closer, scale it a little bit, make sure we're on bounding box. Oh. Like so. And then once again, we're going to give it a subdivision surface, but we wanted to keep it simple, so we have more geometry to work with for our next operation, which is our shrink wrap. And we want to click it onto here. We want to go and project. It won't work because, like I said, we need to remember to rotation and apply the rotation and scale. And then we want it on the x-axis and negative. And now it's in, but it's kind of intersecting a little bit. So we want to push this out by just like a little bit so that it's just coming through like a sticker-like shape. That might be a little bit too much, so I might go 0.1. As you can see, it's good. And then we're going to shade smooth, and then we have our sticker like so. Cool. And then we're going to do some material work on it, some lighting, and maybe some animation if this video doesn't take too long. So the first thing we want to do is put lighting in. Of course, we want to go over here to our shading modes. It doesn't look great because it's not shaded. You can go to this one, which will give you a global lighting, but this allows you to see what it's going to finally look like. And we need to put some lights in. So we can go here, go Shift A, press, and put in like a sun, for example, and put in suns and like light this up 3-point lighting style if you want to. Or we can do many different ways to light. There's many ways to light this thing up. So I'll show you all these ways. Like for example, we can just point loads of lights into it, put fill light, secondary light, rim light, etc. But we can just do it in a little bit quicker way if we go to the shading tab. Oh, it's not loading. And in the shading tab, we get this object. We don't want to go to world. We want to add a, if we press space, if we have it enabled, we can go search for environment texture. If you don't have that, remember you need to enable it. So go to navig inputs, I think, or key maps, and turn it on to search. This is why it's really important. And then we need to find a HDRI, which we can find using online sources such as Polyhaven. To get our lighting information. So I'm going to go to polyhaven.com and I'm going to go get some HDRIs. And I want to find a good lighting information. If I can search, can I search for it? Let's search for large. Can I get anything? There it is. I like this. I wanted to use this one. And we're going to download it as just going to download it as a 2K texture. It's all free. That's a 4K EXR, which is perfect. And then afterwards, we're going to go and go back to our scene and open it. It's in our download, so it's easy to find. So largecore.exr. So we go there, drag this into color, and this should give us the color information. Yes, sir. It has given us the color information if we're on this mode. However, we still kind of see it. So I'm going to switch between both of these shading things so I can see it a bit better. What we need is we want a mix shader. Put that in here. We want to have a background. So, and then we'll put it in the factors. And then we want to have a light path. And the one that we want is the top one is camera array. So now we have what we basically did is we put in the HDRI lighting details into the color chamber, into the color factor, and it went into the output. But then we put in a mix shader so we can have this background color because we don't want any information. We want it to be like the classic orange, but we want to have the lighting details. You can see our lighting detail is still the same. It's got that same lighting detail. And this is just so to confirm the factoring of it. Once we've done that, we're going to put some shaders on it. So for the outer rim, I'm going to go to the shader tab, add something new. Oh, it's going to take some time. I do have a lot of things going on. I'm going to name this cup 1. I'm going to make it like a beige color. Kind of like this is a little bit too bright, maybe just a little bit more towards the center there. Off-white kind of color. I mean, it's all up to you. I'm going to put the roughness a bit up. I'm going to go and duplicate it. and I'm going to go make another one, call it cup 2. Make a like fluorescent orange. You can make it whatever color you want, to be honest with you. I'm going to show you guys if I go to edit mode and select in select that half of it and assign it. I can have them in different. I can have them in different colors. So now I have cup 1 and cup 2, and I like it. So I can go to this drop down, click on the drop down, and give it the C1. And I'll do this. I'll do the same over here for these guys. So this guy is going to be cup 2, like that. And these ones are going to be metal, so I'm going to make a new kind of metal material. So I'm going to go put a metal here. I'm going to make it more metallic, less rough, so it gets really metallic here. Oh, I forgot this little flipper, which I can go for cup 2. And now we're getting a nice color scheme going. The inner lip, I'm going to make it orange as well. This one, I'm going to make it metal, but as you can see, I don't want that lens to be. I'm going to make a new material for the lens. Lens is going to be like a dark blue kind of color. Something like there. And we're going to go and press L and assign it. And we're going to make it less, or maybe more reflective. And then I'm going to go and make a little lens shape for this. I'm going to go press Shift D, Y, scale it down a little bit, and then I'm going to make a material for the pupil. So pupil, and this one I wanted to turn on the emission to be like really strong. I'm going to make it like a light blue color. Make sure I assign it, and then I'm going to make the light blue color over here as well, and that should do it. As you can see, we got that. It's a little bit off actually, but it's not really bright enough, so maybe I'll turn it to 100, see if they'll do anything. Oh, it's a little bit bright, so maybe like 10. That's too bright there. I don't see the color. And then if I go to the render settings, I can maybe turn on the bloom here. Let me see, the bloom is on here. Bloom. I think it might have changed from the older version. So let me see if I can get some kind of bloom going in Eevee. And trying to kind of change the settings a little bit. They changed Eevee a lot, so I just turned on ray tracing and it's got a little bit of bloom, but it's kind of it's not the easy effect that I want like before. But as you can see, this is our little dude that looks quite cute actually, and looks quite, you know, well done with the metal textures and stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Later after this, I'm gonna show you guys how to actually, let me just do it now. I'm gonna go and put a camera in. So I'm gonna go to camera, and I'm going to go to view. With the camera select, I need to go view cameras, align view, align active camera to view, so my camera's to view. And I'm going to go to the secret window, and then I'll make sure it's stuck to camera view, so now I am the camera and I can move it around. And now we can go to render and we can render out an image. And after this, I'll show you guys how to do a little bit of animation with it, so we can do maybe I'll think about if I want to rig it or if I want to do just like some quick animation to show you guys how I would go about doing it. But we'll see how it goes. But if you guys enjoyed the video, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time or in a little bit once I figured out how I want to go ahead and do the animation for this little guy.